Hello, my name is Grifted, and welcome back to the road to a sub 3-minute Odogaron TA Rules Episode 2. So the quest we're doing is a special arena, which means you can't just abandon the quest and respawn at the camp. They send you all the way back to the HQ, and I didn't know which way would be faster, so here you're seeing a side-by-side comparison of which route is the fastest, either running all the way up to the canteen or taking the elevator. And really what I found is that there's no real difference. I mean, there might be like a second or two difference, but who cares? So either way, you're going to be fine. Then I thought as soon as you spawn into Astera, why don't you just quick travel to the Gathering Hub and do it that way? And that is actually slower than both of the previous ways. Now I play on the normal PS4, so if you have a PS4 Pro, maybe the loading times are a little bit better for you. I know these tests aren't exact, but I wanted to learn for myself which route would be fastest. And I learned the first two ways equal about 56 seconds. Okay, so this is the set that I finally decided on using. You saw it in the first video, but I wanted to go in a little bit more depth here. I'm using Earplugs 3, which is interesting because the heavy bone horn comes with Earplugs 3, right? So why don't I just play the song? In my testing, I found that it was just faster to avoid playing the song and just focus on attacking the Odogaron. Now, I didn't route for queuing up the song during the fight, so that's maybe an improvement that I can make. So as you guys saw in the last video, I was having trouble with the scout flies. As soon as I spawned into the level, the scout flies would essentially break my neck. So I just figured that skipping the Mega Demon Drug and getting on the rope as fast as possible would save me more time. The other big change that I started doing, as you'll see right here, is I just skipped the jump attack. Now this works out in my favor, as you can see, because Odogaron is almost always going to roar. Now when you do the jump attack, he's not guaranteed to roar. As we saw in the last video, sometimes he'll run across the map. So I just thought it was more consistent, and it ended up shaving off a lot of time for me. This run is a lost cause, so I'm just going to go ahead and quick abandon that one, boys. Okay, here he's doing that giant kind of get up on his hind legs attack, and if you can avoid that, it opens him up for that great punish. And the roar, since I'm rocking earplugs, doesn't affect me. So ooh, and a quick grifted, boys, let's go. Like we discussed in the last video, playing risky oftentimes leads to Odogaron getting knocked over, which will lead to a KO and just massive amounts of damage. Okay, check this sequence out. I see he's not stunned, so I go for the forward recital, which gives him a flinch. And then I follow up, and I'm just staying aggressive. I avoid that quick claw, and I stay on him for the punish, just abusing that slam, and then I roll away to reposition. Here's an example of a terrible evade. I should have rolled to the side. Here I'm demonstrating that you don't always have to roll, you can simply just move and reposition yourself, and that's so important for this matchup, is just to reposition. Don't commit to a roll when you don't have to. Here we're seeing that same sort of opening, and he goes for that roar. What the hell happened there? That was like the world's biggest whiff. Okay, here, I noticed, see, a big part of this is knowing when he's not getting staggered and to play that forward recital. And usually, more often than not, you're going to cause that stagger. And again, earplugs just showing its effectiveness. I like this sequence because it really shows how aggressive you have to be, and then the payoff for being aggressive. And the Odogaron is just sitting here exhausted. So obviously take full advantage of that. And we get the kill. And I pull away with a 257, so I met my sub 3 goal. I felt like I made a lot of easily correctable mistakes, so I decided to run the quest again to see if I could increase my time. There I ended up getting a jump attack, and I don't know why I didn't get the mount, but I'm thankful I didn't get it, and there we got it. Just a nice evade. Don't commit to a roll when you don't have to. Earplugs 3 showing its effectiveness right there. And this is at the beginning of a fight too, so even if I routed for queuing up earplugs, I don't think I would get it in time. But hey, I could be wrong. And here I'm just showing that aggressive follow-up. Great rolls. I noticed that I'm a little too far forward, so I roll away to reposition, and I get a much better angle here. Here I'm playing a little bit risky. I commit to that super pound, and it pays off. I get the topple. I roll, and I position myself perfectly. I got a great angle here. I go a little too far forward, so I play a back recital to correct myself, and I get the full amount of damage, and I end it with a great evade. Here I commit to a back slam thinking I could reposition myself, but I actually reposition myself right into a quick claw. Here I get the KO, and I'm just staying on him. The run isn't dead, even though I made a pretty big mistake. Okay, I know Odogaron is near death here. He's exhausted, so I just want to be as aggressive as possible. And because of my aggression, I get punished. And that's a heartbreaker right there. So I go ahead and just try and finish out the fight as quickly as I can. And I do, and I pull away with a 252.60. So I was pretty satisfied with that run. Looking back, I did make a lot of mistakes, and I think there's a lot of room for improvement, and I kind of want to get into that. Firstly, I think if someone wanted to beat this time with the hunting horn, I think the key is going to be rolling through Odogaron's roars or routing for playing your earplug song. So just taking out earplugs 3 and replacing it with a different skill. I think that's going to shave off seconds. I think increased monster knowledge is going to help a lot. So for example, there's times where Odogaron will commit to maybe like the backflip or the lunge or something, and you can hit him and you can stagger him out of that move. And I think knowing when those times are going to come is going to be key to really shaving off the seconds here. For me personally, and my own skill level, I know that a sub 240 is possible. And maybe I'll come back to this quest at a future time. All in all, I did this quest for 2 days, but on the second day, I really only ran it maybe 5 or 6 times. So we'll just say 1 day and right around 6 hours of Odogaron practice. And there you go. Thank you guys for watching, and keep playing that sweet chin music.